Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. How are you, my bull gang? Happy new week to you. Look at that. And just like that, we're out of March and into April, right? My goodness. It's happening really quick around here. Everything's melting. Thank you, Aries season. All right. Here we go, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I always do this reading first in the week for you, and that is your reading for the week ahead, so that's what this is. But I will be back with other readings during the week. I'm your bully sister. It is my Taurus. That is my sun sign. So, yeah, I pull off these readings pretty easy for you, Taurus. So I come back and I do these a few times a week, whenever I am permitted to do so with my energy. Okay, we've got two cards here. What do we got? We've got education and learning. Well, interesting, because education is learning, right? They go hand in hand. So we've got card number 12. The education I think that you're getting is in spirituality. I think it's in connecting with yourself, connecting with the higher self. The education, because it's card number 12, and 12 is number of Pisces. So it feels like you could be dealing with a Pisces, or maybe you're just getting reconnected or educated about your intuition. Yep, you might be someone who is very early in your learning. I feel like if you're the person who's early in your learning, like if you're really young, if you're someone who's like, you know, in their 20s and is already learning and gathering information, getting education about, you know, who you are as a spiritual being, I think that's amazing. I think that is, I think that's something that's going to turn you into an emperor. You're going to be able to take charge of whatever you want to. That's card number 4. Also, 12 and 4 is the Tower. That's 16. Interesting. It may come with a Tower, my friend. This learning and education may come with a Tower. Tell me more about that. Travel. Could be, you know, spiritual travel, sleep travel, could be travel, like legit travel to an event. One more. Healing light. Definitely an education about the spiritual self. I feel like it could be like astro travel, or maybe you traveled. It's like it says that it's an event, but I feel like with healing light here that it almost feels like it's a spiritual travel. It's a tower. I feel that is a realization about the self, and that you can go anywhere you want. When you travel, it could be traveling across land, but I think it's spiritual travel. You're learning about the spiritual self. It's a realization, I think, that you got to educate yourself. You can't take everybody's word for everything. You've got to go do that research yourself. Makes me crazy when I get into groups where there's, you know, a lot of people who want to learn about a subject, but there's always the people who are always asking the same questions over and over because they won't go do their own learning and education to find their healing light. They're in there just sort of spinning their wheels because they're really not very serious about finding answers. They're serious about getting everyone else to do the footwork for them. Perseverance. We've got surrender. I can release my need to control. All right. Perseverance is I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Of course. And I think it's spiritual learning that's coming up for you in the week ahead. Like I said, I think it does come with a realization or a tower. I don't think it's a terrible upheaval. I think it's a realization. Yeah, it's not a terrible upheaval. Oh, you might have a message of freedom coming to you. Oh, there's lots of messages here. Karmic message. Yeah, they're all bunched up here. So it's going to be, I think April is going to turn up for you as a month of communication and learning and enlightenment and changes, upheavals, but with learning and enlightenment. I think that's the purpose of changes and upheavals, that you just need to keep on the right path, Taurus, is what I want to say. I know what I can do. I know I can do whatever I put my mind to. And I think you've got a lot of communication coming in this month with all those message cards bunching up at the end here, all these black ones. It says here, message of freedom, messages to pass on, free messages, karmic messages. I feel like you have a lot of communication coming up this month. Right. Tell me about Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me more about Taurus for the week ahead, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Got the King of Wands. A decision, Two of Swords. Someone is about to make a decision, Taurus. More cards for Taurus, please. Oops. Ten of Wands. It's in the reverse, though, so it almost feels like someone is holding off dropping these burdens. It's almost like they feel they deserve to carry them. It feels like the King of Wands is very burdened and is trying to make the decision to unburden themselves. Got the Sun. Got two Leo cards here. We've got strong Leo energy. Six of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles. I do believe that somebody here wants to give you their attention. The Six of Pentacles tells me that although this person is kind of distracted by giving to other people, that they also want to give to you. They're making the decision about that. The Sun is here, which is giving the King of Wands clarity to make their decision about who they are going to let in and who they're not. The Six of Pentacles is someone who's like giving more to one than the other. They see someone as being more needy than the other, or they're giving more to someone and less to you, or vice versa. But it feels like this person here is the one we're talking about. The Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And I think it's Leo. We have the Sun here as well, right? So the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel that Taurus, of course, the Queen of Pentacles is here. And I feel like somebody is really wanting to give you reciprocity, even though they have other, I'm going to say responsibilities that they have to tend to. I feel like somebody here really wants the balance that you give them. They like that you give them the stability that you give them. It feels like this person here is really struggling to make a decision to drop their burdens, because I feel as though the King is someone who has had a hard past, forged through fire. And so this person, the reason that they are a king is because they are self-made, because they've gone through every mud trench. You know, they've been through it. People have been the hardest on them. And I feel like this person struggles to make a decision about dropping these burdens because this person doesn't know who they are without their chaos and burdens. So I think that someone is going to make a decision about how much they're sharing with you. I think it's a decision about how much more they're going to share with you is what I want to say. Because I feel as though you give them the space, you give them the energy to heal, the space to heal. Like I feel like you're not someone who's on them and text demanding that we get morning and night texts. And I feel like this person is naturally coming to the idea that they got to drop the burdens in order to benefit from who you are as an earth sign, right? They truly want to be able to enjoy the balance that you bring here. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this person I feel is someone who's used to being hurt. It also feels like there is some type of realization you have about this person, and it causes you to put your mind, to set your mind to be flexible. I think that's what the travel is about, to make sure that you're on point to go at any moment. Because the King of Wands is impulsive, right? Can make impulsive decisions, right ones, will take a risk, but always knows that what they're risking, right? The kings really don't have the time to play because they're taking care of a kingdom, right? So they're taking care of a lot of people. It feels though that this King of Wands is getting clarity that the decision has to be made if they want to hold on to you, Taurus. And so I think they're going to give you something small. Yeah. they're going to give you something small, like, you know what, can we go out for coffee and talk about this? Because I think this person wants to figure out if they're really investing in you or not. And once this happens, once this comes to fruition, here we go. We get past our feelings. We blow right past our feelings, and we end and transform anything that we don't need. We transform the energy here. That's what I feel this is. And we begin to talk and be honest with each other. And I think this is something that you never thought would happen. I don't think that you ever thought that this person was going to be willing to share themselves or move forward with you quickly. Because it starts out as the Page of Pentacles, right? It starts out as offering a very small offering. Taurus. Tell me about Taurus. I think the king is happy when they're around you. I think you give them happiness. You show them the sun. I think they are the sun. They give you the sun. You give them the sun. You give them they give you the warmth and the kindness and the sun and the growth, and you give them the balance. It's like the perfect yin and yang. The king has commitment on the mind. Yeah. The king is now seeing clearly the commitment that they have on the mind. Just going to move this down, y'all. Close your eyes. There we go. It feels like this king wants to make a commitment here. We've got the Ace of Clubs down the bottom right-hand corner. It feels like this is divinely guided. We've got 7. I see 7s as heaven. So I feel like it's divinely guided here. The decision is being made to take the other door. Because the other door is the more abundant door. The Queen of Clubs is here, or Queen of Diamonds is here, which is the Queen of Pentacles, which is right here. This person is deciding to take a step through the doorway to you. They want balance. You give them balance. Card number 22 breaks down to a 4. This person knows what you are. You're the stability that they've been looking for. Something ended for them, and they're still carrying it around. So something ended for them quickly, Taurus, but they're still carrying it around here. The card number 7 is about, it can be about being cheated on, being talked about. It's the serpent, right? If you think about the serpent in the Garden of Eden, always trying to cause trouble, cause doubt. And it feels like somebody here has, 747. Interesting. That might mean something to someone, 747. But we have, I feel like this person, after being cheated on or lied to or whatever this was here, I feel that somebody took advantage of this person, of the king. It's the Queen of Wands. The King of Wands is here. The Queen of Wands, I think is the one that hurt your person that they can't let go of. I don't think that they're holding on to the person per se. I think they're holding on to what the person did to them. Yeah. And I think you give them balance that they haven't had. They feel really balanced when they're with you because they're used to things striking at them really quickly and causing havoc, wreaking havoc. That's where they live, in havoc. This person lives in a very cluttered mind. That's what it feels like. Yep, somebody wants to begin again or give you something, maybe a small gift, or they might want to take you somewhere, take you out for a coffee. They might show up with a coffee. Do you know what I mean? It might be something really small. They want to show a little bit further commitment to you, but it's going to be subtle. You're really going to have to stretch to look for it. Got the 8 of Swords. Got the 5 of Cups. One more. 10 of Pentacles. Emperor underneath the next card out, with the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. There's going to be communication. So we're going to be talking about how to manifest this connection. Yeah, it feels like the king wants to have some sort of a manifested connection with you. The king knows that you are the person. You are their person. What's the challenge here for Taurus and their person? The challenge is that somebody here is behind the fear wall. They're juggling. Could be your person. Your person could be juggling emotional commitments. They might be feeling a little overwhelmed at the juggling that's going on in their life, and now they've kind of come to the knowledge of you. I think the king has come to the knowledge of you right in the midst of change. Things are closing down and beginning again, and I feel like this king here is about to make a decision to drop these burdens, because it looks like this person is ready now to offer you reciprocity, Taurus. The sun is here. I feel like the clarity is being given to the king, that there is a commitment to be had here. I feel like the king has been up in his head about making the decision, and that's because he's scared to come out from behind the fear wall. We've got the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Wands. It feels like this king is very focused on everything that he or she has lost, because of, I feel like the veracity or velocity of which everything came to an end. And I'm saying velocity because of the card of the snake. It feels like it happens quickly or without my knowledge, or yeah, it feels like that. It feels like all of it though. Your person, I feel, grows from the king to the emperor. They end up with all of these lessons, and I feel like they do end up, abundant after all of this, right? I feel like they end up looking for a long-term relationship anyway, because they're the emperor, right? They're taking charge of this situation here. They're going to drop the burdens. They're going to come to you and figure out what's going on. So we're going to go into the extended, Taurus. And for those of you, I always do this for you, for those of you who get the extended readings, because I feel like there is a tower that's falling here, and I feel like it's learning about, or it's a learning of, the King of Wands. It feels like you have a better understanding of who the King of Wands is for some reason. The healing light and the travel tells me that that you are either changing or rapidly changing your mind, the way you think about the situation, and because you open your mind, I feel like the king comes into alignment. It feels like the clarity that you get, the king gets, and it feels a little twinned for me. So what I'm going to do is go into the extension. You know where to find the link down below for that. And we're going to talk about this king, right? What's the decision the king is making? What are these burdens, and why do they need to be dropped? Because I feel like after the king decides to not live in the chaos anymore, I feel like he takes charge, or she takes charge, whoever's taking charge, and then we have a long-term relationship. But right now, I think that this king is too much in their head about the things that went on for them in the past, even though they're quite clear about how they feel about you. They are planning on taking this door, by the way, and they want to create balance with you. Yeah, that's what the 22 is. It's a 4. All right. I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to come there, you know where to go. Look down below for the extended, and I'm going to go for now, and I will be back with more readings. I love y'all. Bye.